Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, how we doing? Hey, you can see it's WrestleMania 40 night one reaction. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't want to know who won night one, I'm going to say the worst thing a YouTuber could say. Don't watch this video because I'm going to react to, night one, tell you who won and what I thought of each match. So here we go. They have the grand thing, the pre-show. Okay, everything was all right. But so they kick it off with Becky Lynch against the champ Rhea Ripley. Uh, back and forth. They go a little bit of, has a little bit of brutality. I mean, uh, Rhea has a live band for her entrance. Very cool. Becky comes out. They're showing her book, and she kind of, the book kind of opens, and Becky walks through. Not too bad. The outfits, a lot of face makeup, a lot of color and everything. Uh, Rhea, you see her there with short hair. She didn't have short hair, she had long hair. So very, very different. Back and forth match, they both hit, they were hitting they were hitting their moves. Becky did the arm bar, then she did this armor, and Rhea did the rip tide, and and they went back and forth and everything. Overall, it was a good match to kick it off. I would give it, Rhea winds up, retaining the championship, which I don't think was a surprise to anybody. I think most people figured that's what was going to happen. But why will, from that standpoint, but I give it, honestly, in night one, it was probably, you know, uh, right up there, probably maybe the second best match. It's definitely probably a solid B to a B plus. And like I said, very good. Rhea retains. I believe that's what everybody figured was going to happen. And so that was good. From there, we kicked off to the this what do they call this again? I don't know. It was the six the six-way tag, six-team tag match, whatever the hell they call this. But so each belt was suspended above the ring. So actually, the match wasn't over until both belts were removed. A little bit of back and forth, your typical ladder stuff. Ladders flying all over the place and everything. And um, you know, tables being set up, and DIY doing their thing, and New Day doing their thing, Judgment Day, coming in, beating up, our Truth being our Truth, which was absolutely classic. It was awesome. And then all of a sudden it was kind of weird. The match was going, and then boom, all of a sudden, Grayson Wall, everybody's out of the ring. Theory comes in, Grayson Waller comes in. Grayson Waller runs up the ladder and he grabs the SmackDown tag team belts. And I had a house of people here, and everybody was kind of like look at each other like, huh? That just happened? Very, very odd. Very, very odd. And right after that, they did have the thing, they set up one ladder that went from the ring to the announce table. And Grayson Waller got pushed off the ladder after he had the belts, and boom, he went into that. So the match is going on, not too bad. Then JD McDonough shows up, and he, is trying to, help, Finn Balor, to get the belts and everything. And, and again, he does his thing. He's trying to get Finn up, and then Finn falls off the ladder. And then, DIY comes in, I think it was, and they, excuse me, they push him, and boom, he goes through some tables. So, I mean, it was, overall, I mean, it was a good match. Wasn't a great match. Probably a C plus. I mean, there was no. I mean, there was a little bit of crazy stuff. They had one time where Tyler Bate and then Butch go up. Not Butch. Why do I call him Butch? I'm gonna say New Catch Republic. They both go up either side of the ladder and then do a black back flip onto the group. Um, Yeah, like I said, there was your typical ladder match stuff. It was a typical ladder match, and then our truth was he was so funny. Miz was in the ring and beating up on the Judgment Day, and our truth runs to the corner, grabs the rope, and is extending his hand for a tag. And Miz goes ahead and runs and tags him, and our truth comes in, does what he has to do. He hits, you know, the John Cena five knuckle shuffle, and he does, on Finn. Then he gets Priest up and he does an AA to Priest up out of the ring, pushes the ladder, runs up the ladder, grabs the Raw titles. You get Awesome Truth are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. And, they said it was the first match at WrestleMania that our truth won. Very good. It's nice to see those guys get the belt. Um, I think I was a little surprised. I thought they would put it on DIY rather than Waller and Theory, because I had heard that Waller and Theory might be splitting up, but they didn't. So hey, not a bad match. Overall, again, probably a B, a solid B. So then you went to so Dragon Lee subbed out for Andrade and Ray, Santos and Dom, and good match. A lot of your luchador stuff, which was really, really good, which was what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a lot of, to me, this match needed to be, have all that high flying stuff, and everything was pretty cool, there. And the factions were getting involved. The LWO got involved. From that standpoint. And then all of a sudden, out of the crowd come two masked men, big men, not luchadors, big men, and they help out. They throw, they throw people back in the ring, and Andrade and Ray wind up getting the win. And two big guys take off their masks, and it was Jason Kelsey and what was his name? The tackle. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Lane Johnson. Sorry about that. Lane Johnson. So overall, good match. Again, probably a C plus, as far as that goes. Then we go to a match, honestly, that I was looking forward to. I was really hoping that, I thought this was going to be, an exciting match. I thought it was going to be back and forth. I thought it was going to be, a great high tempo match. And it wasn't. Uh, for me personally, uh, I was a little, disappointed in this match. I thought it should have been more high pace and everything like that. And they were super kicking the crap out of each other. And then Jimmy was put his hand up. Was kind of like, no, no, and then he was like kind of apologizing to Jay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then he tricked him and he kicked him and he went for a splash and he kicked out and then Jimmy came back and again a bunch of super kicks and Uso splash, a 1, 2, 3. This match again, it was slower than it should have been in my opinion, and I think I give it a C at best. Um, you know, to me again, it could have been better. Uh, I just think it could have went better. The sixth woman tag match. Again, a solid B, maybe a B minus, somewhere in that range. Damage Control did some of the things that Damage Control does, but I think people knew the entrance for Jade, Naomi, and Bianca was very cool. They're all dressed, I mean, uh, just really good, really good. Again, they did their things. What they had to do. You could see, Bianca did a bunch in the ring. Naomi did a bunch in the ring. Jade didn't do a lot, which makes sense. Jay is still, um, you know, J- Jay is still, I don't want to say green, but she's still raw. She's still learning a bunch. So they let her come in and do her, her power move stuff and everything. But they didn't really, she didn't get a lot of time in the ring. But again, that makes sense. But I think, it was a good idea to have her at WrestleMania. People want to see it. People have been wondering what is going on. Where's Jade? What Jade? They put her in there, again, she hit the moves. She went ahead and got the got the pinfall on Dakota Kai. So again, it was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. Again, I give it, probably an B. I mean, honestly, I think overall WrestleMania was a B. Um, and then we went into this match here, and Gunther did what Gunther normally does. He chopped the hell out of Sammy and beat him up and kept beating him up and beating him up. And the truth is, Sammy fought hard and Gunther beat him some more. And then Sammy fought hard and Gunther beat them some more. They went back and forth with their chops. Gunther hit him with power bombs. He hit him with splashes. Couldn't go ahead and keep him down. And then Sammy went ahead, when not trying to be funny, but it looked like he was having a seizure in the ring, but he was pumping himself up, like almost kind of different than way Hulk Hogan did, but he was pumping himself up. And then, he was able to stun, Gunther and got him in the corner and then, hit him with a couple of haluva kicks and 1, 2, 3. And Sammy is your new champion. Very odd that, Chad Gable nowhere to be found. I thought maybe at least maybe at the end he may come out, but he did not. Um, so happy for Sammy getting his title. I mean, I honestly I kind of expected it a little bit. Yeah, I think it's time for Gunther to move up, and start battling, for a heavyweight title. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now with the dynamic between Zayn and Gable, but the whole Philadelphia theme, I forgot to mention before, but in the tag, 6 team tag match, Xavier Woods, who I believe whose real name is Austin Creed, came out in Apollo Creed type stuff. And uh, Kofi came in dressed like Rocky with the yellow and everything. And what was interesting when Sammy wanted Chad to go out with him, he said no. And all he said was, "But after this, you're gonna owe me a favor." Again, kind of that little Rocky-esque, if you remember from the movie and everything. I wanted a little favor, ding, and stuff like that. So I'm sure the favor is going to be, a title match, from that standpoint. But again, overall, good match. Um, I liked it a lot. The beating they took and going back and forth. To me, this was an A. It was one of the better matches going back and forth again. Glad to see Sammy, prevail. Then you had the big one, and I look. The truth of the matter is we were sitting watching, and it was I don't know, just around 10 o'clock, and we're like, "Holy cow! How are they going to make this thing last?" Well, I don't think they wrestled until maybe almost 10:30 or so between entrances and just standing there and talking and so on and so forth. And they're beating each other up and everything. They all looked pretty good. They all wrestled well. I mean, The Rock for the first time in 8 years of being in the ring, he looked good. They he limited what he was doing. I mean, you knew it wasn't gonna be one of those ones where he was gonna be going in there, going hard, for 30 minutes or so on and so forth. He had his moments. He tagged in and out and all that kind of stuff. But it was funny when they were out of the ring and everything, and The Rock, points up at the referee and he's like, "Don't you count? Don't you count? You count, and I'll fire you." So pulling the whole final boss type thing, of being able to to fire people. Again, as what happened in most things, you know, Seth hit a stomp. Cody hit the Cody cutter. He hit the crossroads. He hit the bionic elbow. He hit every, thing that he had to hit. There was one time where Roman was setting up Cody for the spear, and Seth pushed Cody out of the way, and Roman speared The Rock. And I think that brought the thing like, holy cow, is this where The Rock turns on Roman, and begins that little piece of maybe setting us up for WrestleMania 41? But he didn't. They tagged each other in, they beat each other, they would just, the referee wouldn't call things because, The Rock was threatening to fire him, which was, funny, from a standpoint. Uh, Announcers were going crazy about it and everything. But again, they go back and forth. They hit each other's moves. Superman punches. Rock hits the people's elbow. And then, hits the rock bottom on Cody. Well, actually, Cody put Rock through the announcer's desk. They get back in the ring. Cody looks like he's gonna win. He looks like he's gonna win, and he goes up against the ropes, and Rock hits him with the Mama Rhodes weight belt. That stuns him. Roman beats him up a little bit, tags in The Rock. The Rock comes in and goes ahead and finishes him off. And The Rock and Roman win. Rock gets the pin cover on Cody, which makes sense. You don't want Roman to pin Cody. You don't want Roman or Rock to pin Seth. They needed to pin, Cody, and that happened. Some other highlights of this match. The whole they went after Rollins's knee, and he hurt his knee. So now, there's a little bit, I guess, a little bit of an excuse for for night two against him going up against Drew. From that standpoint. Um, but overall, I have to say that it really overall, I think it was a good night one, which I'm surprised. I expected more. Um, I think it could have been a lot better if the Uso match would have been better. I think the Uso match, being it was kind of flat. I think that match could have gone ahead and been better from that standpoint. But overall, solid B. Not great, not horrible. It was good. Um, Night two is going to be interesting, and we'll see what happens. But that's all I have for you right now. Thanks for going ahead and hanging out and watching this. Tomorrow night after night two, I'll do another recap of what happened. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me, and as always, I catch you at the next one.